Hello guys. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? How you doing? First of all, I'd like to apologize, not apologize, but just to tell people that I know there was a stream I was supposed to do. I think it was on Friday. It was Spurs versus Man City, but you know what happened? Unfortunately, there was a death in the royal family in England. So for me, as a form of respect, I just saw it was the right decision. Early, as soon as I heard the news, I decided to just postpone it. I had a feeling that the games might be postponed. Obviously, people have put their own thoughts on the games getting postponed. I'm not going to get into that because I think it's none of my business, to be honest, whether they were postponed or whether they could have gone on. That was definitely none of my business. But I'm pretty sure, look, I always knew this that the day when the Queen of England dies, a lot of people will obviously be taken by that. Some people might feel the other way. Some people don't really care that much. But some people care. So you always have to know that there's different type of feelings in this world. So you have to read the room sometimes and just make the right decision. So guys, I'm back today. It's a Sunday. It's raining in Ireland. It's a quiet day. It hasn't been a very exciting day, but I just finished watching something exciting. I will have been watching the episodes of Together Champions Again. That's the amazing seven series documentary by Man City that documented everything for last season. So guys, join me, guys. It's just going to be something small, something calm, nothing exciting, just something relaxed, to just have a chat with you guys about this. So for those guys who haven't seen it yet, don't worry. I'm not going to talk about a lot of spoilers. I'm just going to keep it general. I'm just going to keep it on the surface so that I don't get into a lot of spoilers. So welcome to the channel, guys. Smash that like button. Let's get on with this. So together champions again. As I said, it's on City Plus or you can see it on Recast. It's up to you. I would recommend you watch this, especially this time where there's no football and a lot of people want to see something. If you're not a City fan too, highly recommend for you to go watch this because why I'm saying that, especially with rival fans, is you always look from outside. The same thing when I was watching All for Nothing from Arsenal. Everybody looks from the outside, so we judge teams just based on what we see on the football pitch or just based from what we hear in the media. But when you watch these documentaries, even the Spurs one, the All for Nothing by Amazon, even the Man City one, the Arsenal one, there's something interesting. I think all clubs should have an All for Nothing. All clubs should have Together Champions Again, or whatever documentary you can have as a club, just for the fans to be able to look in, the fans from other clubs or the fans yourself to get a few answers. Because, guys, after I've watched these seven episodes, I understand certain things better, especially about the club. Things that obviously, as fans, we would throw point fingers at certain stuff. Now I understand how the club is run. Now I understand how certain things happen. That's the reason why certain things have to happen. Look, I'm going to be just talking about players. I'm going to talk about Pep Guardiola in a few minutes. I just want you to understand what I have got from all this. Okay, look, let's start on one place. I'm going to start with Fernandinho. I was watching first time I watched the first episode. I think there was a bit of a teaser about Fernandinho, the way he was as a captain for the club, what importance he had. Because I remember when he got an extension of 1 year, most of us, including myself, were asking that why is Fernandinho still extending? Like, shouldn't that space be for somebody else? Shouldn't they get somebody younger? Because Fernandinho's legs are gone, which is true. It's not like a jab or it's not something offensive to throw at him. He wasn't the Fernandinho that we used to know in his prime. So after watching the episodes, especially the one that he was the first to go to Joe Cancelo's house after Cancelo was attacked. That was before one of the games. Cancelo's family were attacked by thugs. They went into his house and they attacked him and his family. And then Cancelo was sort of, YSK, how you doing, man? YSK, welcome, welcome. Cancelo was sort of angry because he was like, no, how dare can they do this? Like, how can they come into my family, my home, attack my family? And obviously, during that emotional moment, I'm pretty sure Cancelo was thinking, is like, why should I even be a Man City player? Or I must go and pick revenge or something like this. But Fernandinho, as he also explained himself, called him and told him to calm down and say, look, I'm coming to your house right now. And obviously, as a person, Cancelo did not understand that. Oh, is he coming to the house now? Within a few minutes, apparently, Fernandinho showed up at Cancelo's house. And Cancelo says, that's another day where I used to respect Fernandinho, but my sort of gratitude and respect went over the top now. I actually felt like this man he was a caring man, and my respect for him went to another level just by him doing that. So that just shows Fernandinho the reason why he was there, the reason why Man City. So in those episodes, if you watch, you can tell a lot of things that Fernandinho is a big influence. I think that's the reason why Pep Guardiola wanted him to stay, regardless the age. But I know for fans, like we're not saying we're offensive, our football brain was telling us, why is he staying at the club? Why should he continue? That space can be for somebody younger. But look, I understand, man. Respect to Fernandinho, and I respect whatever comes to Fernandinho, man. And if they have to give him a statue like they gave the rest of them, I wouldn't be against that, because this man, the same way as Company in that other documentary, All for Nothing, did a lot for the players. He was there to pick them up when they are down. He was there to fire them up before a game. So, guys, look, fair play to Fernandinho, man. My hat's off. This guy is a legend. Now, I'm gonna move on to player by player. Guys, don't take some of these things I'm saying here personal, please. Some people get touched because they love a certain player, so they always get very touched. Don't take it personal. I'm just explaining to you my thoughts. That's why I said my thoughts. If you go watch the series and find a different vibe, it's up to you. Um, Obviously, let me get into Raheem. Look, I love this guy, man. I love Raheem, man. Raheem was one of the players that I always loved in the team, and I know we all said things when he left. Obviously, a lot of City fans were disappointed, including myself, and a lot of us said, "Oh, thank God he's gone." I think we should give this man respect for what he's done for us, what he did for us for the 7 years he was with the club. Uh, and for him to make that choice, I think something difficult or something must have happened outside football or out behind the scenes that we don't know. Obviously, unfortunately, we did not get much detail into it. Um, but what I noticed in the documentaries, especially the ones I was watching, is every time when Pep is making is talking, or when the team is together, Raheem always seemed to be alone somewhere in the corner, with his head down, and not much, not a lot of smiling, not a lot of enthusiasm in his like attitude. Not he didn't look the same Raheem you see in the All or Nothing. He was smiling, cracking jokes. Oh, good, that's the Amazon documentary. But in this one, in this documentary, the together champs again, Raheem seemed like he was a bit down, and I felt for the guy. I felt for the guy because I know a lot of people have slated him. A lot of people were criticizing him for not showing up to the parade. But I think there's a lot of things that were happening, and ourselves as fans, we just have to respect the guy, man. Respect his decision. Just respect how things are, because we are selfish as fans. We always think that everything should benefit us. Somebody should love our club to the end. If somebody doesn't do that, we hate them. It's all. But I think respect this guy, man. And after I saw this documentary, I sort of understood the reason why he left, because the guy wasn't happy. And it's true, as Man City say, if somebody's not happy at the club, it's best to let them go. I think it's for the best. Well, it was for the best for both parties. I think for him to be able to leave. I want you when you watch the documentaries, I want you to keep a focus when they go in the dressing room. Either we're losing or winning, and Pep is talking, or one of the players, Ruben Diaz, seems to be very vocal. Walker, Rodri, Gundogan, they seem to be the vocal ones. De Bruyne, not so much. Those are the vocal ones, the ones who talk. Zinchenko, once in a while, he had a few speeches. But at the end of the day, I was shocked that Raheem, being a big figure in the dressing room, who was also one of the players that stayed there for a long time, wasn't talking that much. I think things were not great. I think he had a feeling that he has to move on. So I respect him for that, man. And I wouldn't have loved for the club to force him to do another year at City. Out of respect, we have to respect this guy. And going forward, guys, as I said, watching these documentaries, it's when you see that some of the things that go inside the club are things that we don't see from the outside. So for me, respect to Raheem, and all the best. For me, I won't slander this man going forward. Even if he misses anything for Chelsea, all I have for him is respect. I want you guys to watch that documentary and watch it closely. The guy wasn't happy. Things were not great. As a human being at that age, sometimes if you're not happy, how you doing, Morgan? It's best to just move on, and I think it was best for both parties. So big up to you, Raheem, man. All the best, all the best. So guys, I'm gonna move on to Zinchenko. Zinchenko is also one of the people who fascinated me when I was watching these documentaries, man, out there episodes. Um, because he was one of the guys who was going through a lot because Ukraine was going through the war after they were attacked by Russia. But this guy, man, he was always in the dressing room, always hyping other players. He also made a very good speech. I think in the last episode, he made a very good speech. I think that's the day he was given the captain armband. His speech was amazing, man. I think it also moved me. It shows that some of these players were important, even though they didn't play a lot of minutes. The same way as Fernandinho just mentioned earlier on, some of these players were very important. So in this okay, in this champions uh, together again. Or together champions again. I keep saying all or nothing. I don't know why. It showed me myself as a fan, a football fan. As I said, I recommend a lot of clubs to be doing this because as a football fan, we always ask why is Zinchenko still staying there? Doesn't he feel like he wants minutes? Doesn't he move away? But he was very important even during that run. There's a lot of important people, man. Even the guys who are the physios, the guys who the kit man, all those Carson, Scott Carson, man. All these people are important in that dressing room. And Zinchenko, the speech he made before that game, that's worthy of a champion. That's worthy of a captain, and it was amazing to watch. To be honest, guys, that's why, guys, who if you haven't watched all this yet, even if you're a rival fan, I tell you, go and watch this. You will respect these players, and I respect Zinchenko. And as Pep said, this guy's face was never down. He was always there with the team. And I also big up, shout out to all the kids that were around, the youth players. They seem to also be helping the senior players in the moments that they were down. But Zinchenko, man, I loved his speech in one of the episodes. I think it's the last episode 7. It was amazing. It was encouraging. It was powerful. He said we have to be willing to die on the pitch. And even one of the guys was like, wow, that just gave me goosebumps. You know what I mean? Like he says we have to be willing to die on the pitch. So people like this were important in our title run. And we don't see that. All we see is the players that are playing. Also, these guys who are off the pitch, as I mentioned Fernandinho earlier on, were very important. I'm gonna go to this man. This guy might be the most underrated football player in the Prem. Gundogan might be a player that people underrate so much just because Man City fans were always hyping De Bruyne, De Bruyne, Aguero, this. This man, if he is not one of the most humble human beings I've ever seen, even when he's doing the interviews, you can tell how humble he is. During one of the episodes, he's talking about himself like as a footballer. He's talking about the fact he didn't play. He wasn't a starter in the Aston Villa game. My God, guys, you should watch this. This guy is humble. I've never seen such a humble, polite, uh, good individual. You know what I mean? Like good individual, just top class. You can tell. Like I don't know if you guys can tell when you meet somebody or you watch somebody, you can tell. You can tell that this person is a bit of a prick. You can tell this one is full of himself. You can tell somebody's humble. Gundogan, man, I think as City fans, I'm gonna say it. Maybe some do. I think majority of us don't give this guy his flowers. We don't give this guy credit because if you think about it, right? Obviously, this documentary it just show majority of the time they show him as a captain because he was like the deputy captain. But even the way he talks, even though he's a humble guy, the way he talks, the way he lives, the maturity this man has. Let's not forget this is the same guy who carried us in the 1920 season, if I'm not wrong, when De Bruyne was injured. This is the guy who played amazingly. I think he was supposed to be player of the season that time. I don't know how De Bruyne got it. I hope I don't offend anybody, but this guy, I think he deserved it more because the way he plays. I remember playing against Spurs, the way he spanned Sanchez, man. Like this guy was amazing. He carried us. Let's be honest, he carried us the whole time. Um, he carried us. So let me read this. Big Morgan says no football sucks. It sucks, good Big Morgan. It sucks, but anyway, it's part of life, man. Sometimes when a big figure like that dies, maybe certain things have to. I think Gundogan gets his flowers. One of those players you need in any squad because he will just play the role and he's asked without a fuss. Quite a leader. That's true, man. Quite leader. That's what it is, man. Tapiwa. It's a guy who doesn't show off. He doesn't want to be in the front papers. But guys, you should watch this guy, man. Even after that Aston Villa game, everybody was happy in one of the episodes. They were happy jumping. Gundogan was sitting in the corridors, man. He says he wanted to collect himself. He also said that he was a bit pissed off that, as I said, he didn't start. But look at what he did, man. That's dedication. And the way this guy goes all the time behind the defenders, man. This guy, I think this is one of the best midfielders that has played at Man City, and it's just as I say, I know that people you say he gets his flowers, but in general, he doesn't because it's only recently people have started talking about Gundogan. Even one of the guys I watch, you were saying Gundogan is somebody who I never really put much focus on, but the guy is a baller. He's a baller, and now I understand why Gundogan, regardless of the fact he was injured, he was signed by Pep Guardiola. Man, big up to this guy. What a captain, man. And I know he's 31 years old. For me, I swear to God, if I see him extend in 2 years, give him 3 years. I don't care. This guy has to stay at the club. And I think he's got so much to offer because he doesn't have to run so much. He's just a smart, intelligent footballer. But most of all, he's humble, guys. If you watch all the episodes, you see how humble Gundogan is. Yo, episode 7 is on recast. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's on CD Plus. It's on CD Plus. I just watched on CD Plus. But yeah, for sure, he's not the type of player to be given headlines. I can. If I see that, I can definitely see that. Yeah, I think that's what you're trying to write. Sorry. Yeah, Tapio, it's right. Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody gives him the flowers, but I think people realize how good he is. I think he's one of the best footballers in the Prem. I think he's one of the top midfielders in the Prem. Who else? Not the many. Let's be honest. If you were ranking midfielders in the Prem right now, Gundogan is high. It's very high up the list. Out even number 2. Like who's actually better than Gundogan? Like who? We don't have many midfielders out there. I'll be talking about like De Bruyne, then Thiago, then Gundogan number 3. But is Thiago that far off better than Gundogan? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. I don't think he is. I'm sorry, I don't think he is. I still think that on par, Gundogan is good, man. Passing, the way he can play as a DM sometimes, then he can play as a target midfielder, he can play as a false 9. My God, man, guys, we have to appreciate these players. Cool. So let's keep going. Walker, man. I never thought Walker was a captain in the dressing room. I never thought Walker was a leader in the dressing room. I always used to see him as a joker. Another underrated player, another underrated right back. And I'm gonna keep it here for now. All I've been hearing ever since Trent came out as a right back is Trent is the best. Oh, Trent this. Oh, Trent that. Quite funny enough to see that this guy, who's one of the fastest fullbacks, who every attacker, including Neymar, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Vinicius, every attacker in the world, even in the Prem, every winger says Walker is the hardest and toughest opponent I've ever faced. Quite funny. This is not the guy people take as the best right back. Makes me laugh. Oh, you tell us that the best right back in the world is Trent. Look, Trent is generational. He's talented. He can see a pass. But apart from that, what else can Trent do? It's all passing. It's all good passing. It's all good football. But how underrated is this man? Kyle Walker, man. Nobody beats him. Not majority. Like it was only Saint Maximum and Kyle Walker was carrying an injury. Also, by the way, I just found out that he's been carrying an injury for so long. And Alan Saint Maximum was one of them. Saint Maxim was one of the wingers that actually had him on toast. But we know why with the whole Pep invented fullbacks. But why? I don't get it. Is it because he plays for Man City that a lot of these people don't give him his flowers? My God, is there any right back right now in the world who can go on par with Kyle Walker defensively and the way Walker is so fast and doesn't get beat that easy? This guy, there was a point in time this guy was carrying our defense where our defense would get caught out and Walker would recover because of his recovery pace. But all we hear in the media is, oh, Trent number 1. How can you put Trent number 1? How? With a man like Kyle Walker around? I don't just get it. That's the most disturbing, bizarre news. Like in all fairness, as I said, Trent is young, and I don't know if he's gonna get better defense. I don't think so. My personal opinion is I don't think he'll ever be a good defender. But for people to disrespect Kyle Walker, the way people disrespect, I've seen people disrespect. The funny thing is, the same people are willing to disrespect Kyle Walker, but when you disrespect Trent, they get emotional. Oh, how dare you? Oh, how dare you say this about Trent? But when you disrespect Kyle Walker, we mustn't have the same energy. My God, no. There's Kyle Walker, Rich James. These two right backs are the best for me. That's my opinion. Maybe that's the type of football I like. If you talk about a complete right back, I used to like Robertson. Yes, he's had few bad seasons, but Robertson impresses me. The way Andrew Robertson is able to sprint up and down the pitch, my God, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. Even shout out to Danny Rose during his peak time. Danny Rose was a good left back in the days. I used to love Danny Rose. I think I used to. The way he's downfall is a bit heartbreaking. I know he had mental health issues, but mental health issues he's had, and I hope he gets better. But Danny Rose and Kyle Walker were the best fullbacks, and that's what a fullback pairing was. Not a fullback pairing where one has to get carried by a midfielder to make sure he's covered. Guys, I'm telling you, going forward, we have to appreciate Kyle Walker, and you want to see another right back like Kyle Walker in a long, long time. The closest thing I see to Kyle Walker is the Fulham left back. You know, Robin, is it Robin or something? Is it Anthony Robin, the left back from Fulham? He's also very good and very fast. He's so underrated. You're right, man. You're right, VLV. You're right. I'll still have Thiago over Gundo, but Bayern Thiago. The best version of Gundo was Dortmund. Gundo prior to the knee injury, both very talented. It's one of those either scenarios. That's true, or scenario. Yeah, you're right about that, man. It's true. You're right about that. Yeah, a good deal from Spears with this one. Trent and Reece, I think, get louder shot scores of their attacking returns rather than their defensive capabilities. I think Reece James is actually good defensively. On his day, Reece James is good defensively. Look, I don't want to be like a bitter guy on Trent. I'm just saying I'm talking about the media. I'm not blaming people. It's up to you who you rate, you know. But Trent, I'm sorry, you can't sit there and tell me that in the World Cup, if Kyle Walker is fit, if Kyle Walker is going to hold the bench. No, it's not happening. I can tell you here for free. If Kyle Walker is injured, it's going to be Reece James. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, you might hate them, or Trent fans, but that's how it's going to be. If I was a competent manager, that's what it is, because you have to understand the system at Liverpool is designed to protect Trent Alexander-Arnold because Henderson will go to the side and look after him. But now, guys, big up. After I watched the documentary, big up to Kyle Walker, man, what a leader. And he actually played injured against Madrid because obviously Pep asked him that you might be needed for the team. And he said he would be willing to put his knee on the line for the team. So that's why he played injured. That's why Madrid fans obviously get gassed thinking it's because of Vinicius that he limped off, but nah, he was already kind of injured. So, but guys, big up to this guy, man. Big up to this guy. Now, so keep into the documentary again. As I said, this is just my thoughts on the documentary, that amazing documentary, the Man City documentary, Together Champions Again. It's seven episodes so far. I don't know if it's gonna go on, but guys, the Man City board deserve respect. I have seen a lot of people, a lot of childish people on Twitter, and obviously you don't have to take Twitter seriously. This is why I don't take Twitter. The way they insult the board members, the way they throw shade at the board members, they forget that there's teams like Man City, even Liverpool are saying FSG out, uh, Glazers out. People are saying Glazers have to go out. They're not doing very well. These guys and the Man City owners, these guys, Cheeky, man, Felon, and them, man, have done so much for us, man. For them to be able to sign Pep Guardiola, to bring him to the club, and then give him this structure of football. The way Man City right now plays football from the under eights going above the EDS, everything. The football is amazing. The culture at the club has changed. Before, things were not as great as this. Let's not lie to ourselves. You're not gonna sit here and try lie to me that before these guys walked into Man City, things were great. No, no offense to the old culture at Man City, but these guys have brought a winning mentality. Yes, we haven't uh, we haven't lifted the Champions League yet, but that's none of my concern. For now, I am appreciating the fact that these guys managed to bring one of the best managers from Bayern, because Juventus could have had him. PSG could have had him. Man United were interviewing him. I says Sir Alex Ferguson wanted him at United. Arsenal wanted him. Everybody wanted him. Everybody was calling at this man's door, but Man City managed to bring the deal through the door, and they knew this from the beginning, because when they employed these Barcelona guys, they knew that's the only way to draw Pep Guardiola to Man City. This was smart. This is a lot of smart thinking. You should be appreciating what our owners and what whoever had this thought, our president, what he did, because it was a masterclass. Because without bringing the Barcelona boys along, you never know if Pep could have come to City. So it was a smart thing, well thought plan, everything. I remember the time when they were buying De Bruyne, apparently buying all these players. They still were asking Pep of, apparently these are the rumors of, what do you think? Should we bring so and so? So they were still organizing. Unfortunately, I know it was, I still hold this, the club, what they did to Pellegrini. I don't agree with it, but it is business. But I like the way they did it, the way they already were planning for Pep Guardiola to come at the club. And it's quite heartbreaking to see a lot of, I'm going to use this, even if people get offended, a lot of idiots who post, Cheeky out, Cheeky, you're a fraud. Like, how many things has this man done for you? All that team you're looking at, these are the people who have brought you all those players. They've worked with Pep Guardiola very well. Other teams are struggling. Other teams are complaining. The managers and coaches are arguing. Take a look at Tuchel and the new owners at Chelsea. Look, they said there was a bit of a crash because the new owner at Chelsea wanted Ronaldo to sign for the club to bring the economy up. That's what he wanted. He wanted a mega star, and Tuchel said no. Look at this club. They're able to give Pep Guardiola whatever he wants because they believe in his football. That's what they want to bring to us. They want to build the same dynasty like the Barcelona one. That was one of the best football teams I've ever seen. A team full of culture, people who loved each other, people who respect. That's the reason why when they're signing somebody, they go and study them. They go and study what sort of behavior they have. Pep said in a recent interview, I don't care about your skills. I don't care about your flashiness. All I care about is your behavior. So it's quite heartbreaking to see people give insults to our board. You should watch these episodes. They will teach you a thing or two. I remember this episode where Cheeky sits down, and let me just welcome Gundo. How you doing, Gundo?
Good morning, good afternoon. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, there's an episode. I remember. I think we were talking off camera, Gundo, saying they were talking about players who have one year left, obviously scouting players, and also they were talking about the way we have to extend with the way it's going to affect our wage structure. Because people always think, oh, look, Dybala is free, let's go get Dybala. Or Pogba is free, let's go get Pogba. There's thoughts that go into signing these players, and if you watch one of the episodes, you will learn that these people take their time before they buy somebody. Why some of us we go on Twitter and we think we can be able to run a club and bring a good structure. Um, that's the thing about Twitter. It gives every John
Well,
off the street a
well, I mean,
voice. You see what I mean?
the problem with this generation, unfortunately, is that we have so much information around us, but we never learn. We refuse to learn. There's so much information that's out there. There's so much knowledge and insight that you can glean, but we refuse. We like trolling. We like these takes. We like all these agenda. Nobody wants to learn, which is why we become the dumbest generation since World War II, because we just don't want to learn. If you watch that video, nothing in that video surprised me too much, Patrick, because we've talked about this time and time again. We talked about the transfers, about the wage structure, about wage to income, about all these things that we had talked about, right? Why? Why are we able to do these things while others are still trolling? Because somehow we sit down, we think about these things, and we put ourselves in their shoes. There's so much to glean and learn from that documentary. It's incredible. Really is incredible. And if people would take the time to actually learn and watch it, they'll glean so much from it. So much. But we don't. We love the Twitter spaces trolling and Agenda FC that really is a waste of everybody's time. But that's where we are today.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and you're right about that. Instead of learning, sometimes all we do is bad talk. Good times always end, guys. Let me just be honest with you. All these good times always end. It's good for you to appreciate the situation right now. You have the board, you have the sporting director, you have all these people who are able to bring in De Bruyne, Haaland, all these big mega stars that you never thought you would see at Man City. So big up, man, and respect to the fans for always been with the club. So maybe this, yeah, Walker is by miles the easiest to plug into any system, even as RCB. That's true. He can even play as a right centre back. So Vini still worked him. It's what it is. Come on, Tapio, throw that agenda away. Good leadership at the club is definitely something many fans take for granted. That's true. Many fans, even Even United fans, when they had good leadership, they used to moan and complain about small things. They never know the good times will go. Do you know what I mean? So that's how it is. Sometimes you just have to appreciate what you have because you never know when it's gone. It's gone. Big up to you, Luca, man. Yeah, a lot of fans think everything runs like Football Manager, which isn't reality. That's true. That's the thing. We are all stuck on Football Manager. So look, big up to the board, man, and everything you will see in the documentary. I don't want to give away much so that guys can watch, but let me talk about this man. Guys, for me myself, right? I used to play football, and we had a manager, and we did fairly well, not great, very well. Um, Motivation in life, even as a manager at work, even as a supervisor at work, even as a leader amongst a group of people, motivation is required. But not everybody in this world has the skill to motivate people. There's a level to it because the reason why when a manager and an experienced manager goes into a dressing room and people say, "Oh, I don't think he has the guts or he doesn't have the experience to run a dressing room full of egos." This man over here, if you watch all the documentaries, because this is what I thought. Maybe that's what they showed us. Maybe they didn't show us much. I thought it's always about tactics. It's always about football. But nah, it's also about the guy you have in the dressing room talking. This guy, when he's talking, yourself on the couch, you're also inspired. Like you should watch him in the episodes. You should watch him before a Champions League game. That brings me to my sincere apology to the team as a whole. My sincere apology. Obviously, sometimes we let rival fans get under our skin and we throw Pep under the bus because we say, "Oh, it's Pep who was part of the issue why we haven't won the Champions League." If you watch the documentaries, you can tell Pep wants the team. He feels the team deserves to watch to win the Champions League, and the way he inspires them, regardless when they lose, instead of beating them down with a stick, the way this man Pep Joseph Guardiola, I think it's Joseph, yeah, it is Joseph. Guardiola was standing up and still telling them that regardless you've lost against Madrid, you guys you guys can come here. You can still come here next year. This is what he said. So this guy, Carl, I don't know if you got anything to say. This guy is what is making us champions. He's the one who installs the winning mentality. If you watch all the episodes, so when he speaks, you can understand why, especially the game we were losing
Yep.
against Aston Villa. He came second
Yes.
half and he never said, "You guys are going, we might lose this game. It doesn't matter." He changed his tone. He
Yep.
told them that
Yep.
you are going to win this game because you're the best and
Yep.
you are better. And trust me, if you score one goal, you get another, you're winning this game.
Yeah.
This is what makes you champions. And he told them that it's you who've won those titles. It's not me. It's you guys who win those titles. He also told them that it's you who lost in the FA Cup. It's never me. It's you. Everything is you. So you guys, I have watched you talk amongst each other and motivate each other to win things. So what do you think, Carl? This guy is the
Yeah.
gel,
So
and I think people should know how great this guy is.
I coach. I told you I'm a coach. I coach like 3 teams, right? And what I'm learning from this guy, I'm telling you, by watching him, by seeing what he does, is helping me tremendously. I'm telling you. I have a group of players. Some of my players I just got this season, right? A lot of them came in with issues, low morale, struggling with playing, not understanding how to play football, don't not understand the positional awareness, but just the ability not just to coach them on tactics, but the mental side, the encouragement, the feedback, the you're the best, you can do it, and then to see the results begin to churn every week where we're battering teams 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. Possession is in 80%, creating chances, moving players around, and they're keeping to positional play. All that stuff that I didn't have before, by listening and watching this guy, I'm learning about how to manage. Not only in the good moments, but also in the bad moments, right? Telling players that if you do this and this and this, here's what's going to end up happening. And it happens. And players come and tell you, "Coach, how did you know?" I'm learning it from the best. We have literally, Patrick, the best manager in world football. Not Klopp, not Ancelotti, none of those guys. This guy is the best. There's no player that comes to this guy that doesn't get better unless you're really, really bad. And when you leave, what happens with you when you leave, your level goes down. This guy is a generational manager, and if we don't appreciate this guy while we have him, when he's gone, we will regret it. So all those fans who slag him off, oh, this and that, he can't do without Messi, he can't do that, can't do that. You don't understand football. You need to check yourself and enjoy this moment, Patrick. This guy is generational. He's the Van Gogh of our age. He's the Michelangelo of our age. He paints football with artistry. He creates pictures and artwork that we enjoy every day, win, lose, or draw. It's incredible.
Amazing. It's amazing to watch. Even if you're not a football fan, or even if you're not a fan, like if somebody from outside Man City right now, because there's no football this weekend, right? So if you watch these documentaries and still come out and start calling Pep names, saying it's the mentality from him that makes us maybe lose the Champions or something, then you're not okay. Like for me, it brings me to my next thing. It brings me to my next topic. This, because I was one of the people who said, "Oh, our mentality was bad." No, guys, our mentality wasn't bad. If you watch the documentary, that's why I'm saying a lot of clubs should maybe start doing this. A lot of clubs to start showing us fans on what goes on in the inside the dressing room.
I,
These
I,
boys, these boys
Patrick,
wanted this, cow. They wanted
of
this. They
course they do.
fought for
Because
this,
nobody wants to
and
lose.
yeah,
Nobody
and
wants
if
to
you
lose.
see, but you know what amazed me? What amazed me is what Pep said when the loss says, "Don't worry, you'll be back here next year, and you will do better, and you will learn from your
Of
mistakes."
course.
That's
Of
a
course.
leader. That's management, guys, and you guys should appreciate all this because if you even look at the moment, because after I watched the documentary and I saw this part, I watched the game a bit, just extended highlights. Some of those things are things that happen in life and you can't explain exactly how, especially Rodrigo's header, the second header. I didn't I said, how do you explain that? How
There's
does
a lot of
it just go
Patrick.
straight to
There's
yeah?
a
So
there's,
yeah, go ahead.
there's a lot of luck in one-off games. Okay, a lot of luck. Double header by Rodrigo goes in. Unlucky. It happens. This is football. Before Barcelona won their first Champions League, it took them 30, 40 years. And guess who won their first Champions League for Barcelona? Guess who was playing? Guess who was on the team? Guess who was
Pep
on the team?
Guardiola.
Yes, playing the number 6 role. Yes. The second Champions League they won, who was there? Who was leading? I believe it was Guardiola again. So let's just chill out, man. Seriously, we don't know what we have until we lose it. I just fear that. I mean, not for me. I don't care. Fans can do what they want to say, but for me, I'm maximizing every single moment, man. I am enjoying the moment. The way we play from the academy, from the under 10s, all the way to the senior team, is exactly the same. You think that's a fluke? You think that's easy to have that
No,
same
it's not.
mentality throughout the
It's
whole squad?
structure. It's not, and it's not easy to do. People think it's easy. It's not easy to do at all. It's not easy to do at all.
If
Now
they
it
think
brings
if
me
they
to
think it's easy to do, Patrick, let them go and coach a team and see how it's like. Go pick up a team and coach them every single day. And you try and win like they win. Go ahead and try it.
That's true. Now it brings me back to the team, and I know this is a bit of an odd picture, but I picked it specially because I'm looking at players like Otamendi, I'm looking at players like Sane, we're looking at Ateta, all these teams. What I'm trying to say this is rebuilding a team is not easy, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Rebuilding a team is not easy. For you to build a team that keeps winning is not easy. Now, if you this picture, you can talk about Fabian Delph, you can talk about Sane. Um, you can talk about David Silva. You can talk about Claudio Bravo, Felipe Sandra. You know, all these people who were in the team, David Silva, Otamendi, these people, Aguero, were part of the winning team. Now, how many winning teams have this board given us to rebuild? For Pep Guardiola to rebuild a team that keeps coming back better and better, playing amazing football, playing different type of football. It's not easy. You can just take a look at Chelsea. Chelsea, for them to rebuild teams, they always have to sack the manager. You can take a look at Man United. They tried to rebuild the team, bringing in Moyes, Van Gaal, um, Oli, Mourinho, now Ten Hag, trying to just rebuild a winning team. These guys, for the past 5 years, they have given you four trophies out of five. 4 trophies out of 5, guys. This together champions again. Watch it. Just see that how many times do you have to rebuild the dressing room? How many times do you have to have leaders in the team? Our leaders were David Silva left, Otamendi left, Aguero left, Vincent Company left, but still they managed to look for more and get more leaders and who come back and lead the team to winning again. So this appreciation, this lack of appreciation we have, sometimes I do it myself. Going forward, myself, I appreciate this team and I appreciate what we have, and I'm just gonna love every moment. And I'm not just saying this because if I wanted to get all the pictures, but unfortunately I didn't have time. But if you go right now on Google, I want you to Google Man City teams, and then they'll give you a picture of the team ever since Pep took, and you can see the leaders. Start counting people who are leaders in that dressing room, people who are winners. For you to be able to rebuild the team is not easy. Look at Thomas Tuchel. He's been sacked. He couldn't really rebuild a team. Look at Liverpool right now. Did you know why Klopp is struggling? I'm not going to say anything bad about Klopp. I'm just saying, look at him at Dortmund when he was asked to rebuild a team after Bayern took some of the players, after some of the players left. It's not easy to rebuild a team. Klopp was ended up being bottom of the league, and right now Klopp is struggling to rebuild a team because he had Gino and Adam, he had Henderson at his peak, he had all these people. And why here, guys, we don't appreciate what we have, as Carl says. If you look at this series, these 7 episodes, you will be amazed that how do you still continue building a winning team to win 4 out of 5, guys, and we still sit here and not appreciate this. I'm telling you guys, we have to appreciate what we have because very soon, as Carl says, it might be gone, and then you'll be like, wow, I should have appreciated what we really have. Do you have any words, Carl, on the team?
Well, and just one thing for those who in their minds are saying, well, he has all the money. Well, just spent 300 million pounds on players and they're struggling. United has spent 1.2 billion on players and they're struggling. So it's not about money. It's about quality. It's about the infrastructure. It's about the people that you have around you. It's about Omar Barada, Chike Bergeristan, Ferran Soriano, Pep Guardiola, Manuel Estate. It's about Rafael Rodolfo Borrell. It's about all those people who are around him and the wonderful players who are humble enough to recognize that they have to play good football and win. That's what it is. It's not just about money. Anybody can use money. But to use money properly and get the right results, it takes genius.
Yeah, you're right about that. It takes genius for you to be able to use the money properly. And as I said, for you to maintain a winning team is not easy. So, guys, those were our thoughts on the documentary, Together Champions Again, which is a Man City documentary. You can find it on City Plus or Recast. It's an amazing documentary, guys. Go watch it. I know right now people are starving that there's no football, but obviously we know it's for good reasons. But if you feel like you want to watch something fascinating, it doesn't even matter if you're not a City fan. Go watch that, and then you see what's different, what happens behind the scenes. People like Jack Grealish almost in tears, almost vomiting and puking just because they can't take the excitement. All these people, as I said from the beginning, Carl Walker, I think I mentioned Gundogan, how he's underrated as a midfielder, and Gundogan, what he's done for this club. And for me, it breaks my heart. I hope he extends because he's 31 years old. I think he can play to 35. Just my thought because he's that good. All these players, Diaz, the way he's vocal for somebody his age, I'm amazed, man. I can't imagine myself being a 23-year-old coming from Portugal, still able to inspire and talk to people as a leader, be there for people. And he also amazed me in one of the episodes, the routines he has. Ruben Diaz wakes up in the morning at a certain time, brushes his teeth for a certain moment in time, then goes to the gym. Even the fitness instructors there at the club said they changed the time they open the gym just because of Ruben Diaz. They changed certain things on how to be a professional. Shout out to Benfica. They seem to train the players in a certain way and give them a sort of mentality. That's why I like buying players from Benfica, and I hope we continue buying
Patrick,
players from Benfica.
I want to talk about Edison because the way some of us slag him off is disgusting. It's a disgrace and it's a shambles. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Okay? No keeper is perfect. Every keeper has a strong portion, a strong skill, and then not so strong skill. It's the reason why we bought this kid from Benfica, because we know that nobody in world football can distribute the ball like he does. Is his shot stopping 10 over 10? No. Is it short stopping like De Gea? No. But guess what? This same guy is the one who's given us title after title after title. Not only making big saves, but giving us amazing plays on the ball. Right? If you don't like him, go get a GoFundMe now. Go and buy Alisson. Or go and buy De Gea and put him in the squad. And let's see how De Gea is able to play with this Man City that are able to distribute the ball. Go and watch De Gea against Brentford when he tried to build the play up and they hammered him 4-0. Or go watch Alisson when he tries to distribute the ball to his right side, his left side, and how he gets caught up. You got to appreciate the guys that we have. You know, to slag him off, your own keeper, consistently. I'm sorry, man. It's a shit show. And it's a shambles. That's all I have to say about that, Patrick.
No, it is, man. Big up to you, respect to you guys. So that was our stream, man. Talking about the 7 episode series, together champions. Again, it's an amazing. I say, guys, go and watch that. And put down the comments. How did you find this? And later on, we might do. I think we're doing a Champions League review and preview with Gundo on Pitch Points.
Yeah.
So join us for that. But guys, for now, continue having a great weekend. And for those who are mourning, my condolences for you and the country, for the Queen. And respect other people's opinions, guys. Respect other people during this mourning time. Yes, you might not like what the Queen was, what it represents, but it doesn't hurt for you to just be respectful and silent and let other people mourn in peace. So anyway, guys, that's enough from me, and see you on Pitch Point.